a virtual reality headset. And as impressive as this is, it's obviously still very early for the technology. So we've talked a lot about the metaverse already, essentially the ultimate goal of all immersive content is to be part of what is the future of digital interactivity, the metaverse. I'm sure everyone in the audience knows what the metaverse is. If they didn't before today, they do now. Rather than go into too much detail, I just want to reiterate that for the purposes of this talk, I'm referring to a large-scale collective space in which people can travel, communicate, and engage in various virtual activities together. Given the topics that I've already covered, it's easy to suggest that people will be able to host their own fashion shows in the metaverse and even collaborate on designs virtually. We're seeing a lot of this already with various different hardware, such as the HoloLens or even VR headsets themselves. There's another element to this, however, that is quietly creeping in alongside the ability to showcase new and evolving fashion, and that's simply what our digital selves will be wearing in the metaverse. The metaverse will undoubtedly become a fashion show, while all signs currently point to decidedly human-like avatars. It's going to be a while until we can choose to become giants or unicorns or magical frogs or whatever we choose in the metaverse. So while we are still working with human-like avatars, it's unlikely there's going to be restrictions on clothing design similar to what we see in the real world. For example, I myself, I'm not very fashionable. I'm not much of a hat person, but in the metaverse, I may well choose to experiment with different accessories a bit more than I might in real life. Likewise, someone more adventurous than me might wish to wear a bright orange suit at a meeting, or maybe a dress with a 20-foot-long train trailing behind it, or any other number of designs that I'm not creative enough to think about. This, of course, also relates to NFTs, which we've heard a lot about today. And of course, big brands have already analyzed this opportunity and have begun preparing. It's just one example of a fashion brand that has recognized the opportunities for digital clothing that will help develop over the next decade. And has already begun. They have already begun to secure their place in a virtual future. Given the precedents set in popular video games like Fortnite or the recently launched Halo Infinite multiplayer, these environments have proven that people are willing to pay real-world money for in-game cosmetic items. So it's easy to see that a marketplace for virtual fashion goods will eventually become the norm in the metaverse. This may well begin with a simple menu system, but as Jorg mentioned earlier, there's no doubt that in time, users of the metaverse will be able to visit fully stocked digital shops and purchase new clothes and accessories, even hairstyles and hair colors for their avatars. And as Jorg again mentioned, this can be mirrored in the real world and delivered to the people at home, or it could purely be a digital item, a digital asset. Given the power of these real-world brands, it's easy to see how they could capitalize on such a transition, especially with preparations beginning so early. As I say, the metaverse is still very early on. There's lots of contenders for what could become a metaverse, but there is no de facto standard of what a metaverse is yet. With these large, big brands already preparing, it paves the way for other opportunities in bringing real-world conventions to the metaverse. And one of these is advertising. While in its infancy, advertising in the metaverse will most likely resemble that of real world very closely. Simple billboards featuring static images or videos or looping videos. But this will be the entry level. This will be where we start. However, as the technology develops, we will see more personalized advertising, a system that will, not unlike the current internet advertising, where products that you're interested in will be shown to you alone, but also some level of interactivity. Do you like the trainers that the model is wearing on the billboard? Great. Why not try them on immediately? If they fit well, if you like the look, click here to buy them right now. The Metaverse will provide ample opportunities for fashion brands to demonstrate both digital and real-world products in new immersive ways. James from Moment X demonstrated this earlier in a Facebook/Meta video clip. So thank you, James. And while the technology isn't quite there yet, it's important for fashion brands to start thinking about the possibilities right now. If they're not already researching and looking into these opportunities, there is a chance they'll be caught off guard when competitors are taking advantage of the Metaverse and its potentially rapid consumer adoption. And of course, the company that will drive all of this technology and the consumer adoption will most likely be recently renamed Meta. Meta now has one goal, just one singular goal, and that is to build the Metaverse. They want to be the de facto standard of what a Metaverse is. Facebook, Instagram, WhatsApp, and Oculus, they're all just tools. They are currently disparate platforms, but they're all leading to just one thing. While it may be that Oculus is the platform that affords the very early VR experience for the hardware, perhaps less obvious are the underlying tools that other platforms will bring.